I think feeling misunderstood is a very universal feeling. I don't think any of us feel like we fit in 100% of the time. I'm 28 right now, and I feel like I fit in less than ever. It's pretty easy to feel like there's something wrong with you because you don't fit in with everyone else. And look, I can't teach you how to fit in with everyone around you, but honestly, you shouldn't want me to. But in this video, I want to show you that fitting in isn't the end goal. It is a natural byproduct of very specific criteria. And while fitting in might be easier, not fitting in is just going to make you a hell of a lot more interesting in the long run. I just need to add a bit of a disclaimer here. I talk about high school a fair bit, but it's purely because it's a universal experience that everyone can relate to. But most of what I talk about in this video can be applied to or is true for most other similar places like office spaces or any similar-ish kind of workspace. Please don't get hung up on the high school thing. It is purely because everyone can relate to high school. When I was at high school, I was into a lot of things that, the other kids around me weren't into. And I always felt like I either needed to sit alone or sell my soul and act like I was into a bunch of stuff that I didn't care about just so that I could sit with all the normal kids. I didn't want to sell my soul just to fit in. The internal narrative that started to form was that clearly there was something wrong with me, because I just wasn't wired to fit in with normal people. I mean, I liked metal and motorbikes and art, and I felt like everyone around me was just into sports, and I don't even remember, but it was just not really anything that I thought was cool. It was like they just knew how to fit in, how to not miss some joke or try too hard. I mean, I just couldn't figure the formula out. I always tried way too hard or not hard enough. Eventually, I just ended up feeling disconnected from everyone around me. It sucked. Eventually, I ended up kind of belonging to a ragtag group of friends. I mean, none of us really got along with each other exceptionally well, but it was better than all of us sitting alone somewhere, I guess. We had very different hobbies, different interests, cared about very different things, but I think it was just nice to belong somewhere instead of not really belonging anywhere. In my mind, I just liked what I liked, same as everyone else. I guess when you like something everyone else likes, you fit in. And when you don't, there must be something wrong with you. Sensitivity, creativity, and curiosity will probably label you as weird, but those are also the things that make you interesting. I have this friend. Dude has been an artist for as long as I can remember. But when I met him, he was just some misunderstood kid who listened to My Chemical Romance all the time and made really dark art that everyone was kind of weirded out by. After high school, he decided to become a tattoo artist. He had built up an incredibly impressive portfolio, and to be honest, I could not possibly imagine him doing anything that isn't creative. Currently, he's a pretty successful tattoo artist who has done some work on myself and my wife respectively, and all the things that made him weird to normal people are what makes him stand out as a tattoo artist. He dresses weird, he makes weird art, he listens to very weird music. But all of these things that make him weird creates this air of authenticity that most people have never even experienced. Back when we were at school, he'd ask me how he can be more confident, and I didn't really know what to say to him because I was also just as insecure and awkward as he was. But I believe I said something along the lines of just be yourself. It's a cliche that we've all heard more times than anyone can remember, but it is actually also the secret to confidence. Confidence isn't some trait that you either have or you don't. Confidence is just about knowing yourself, your likes, your dislikes, your strengths, your weaknesses, your abilities, and your limitations. You would be surprised how easy it is to be confident when you just know who you are. Are you always going to be self-assured? No. But if you just focus on being genuine, everything else will come naturally. Another friend of mine was incredibly socially awkward when we were growing up. I mean, had a hard time making friends, couldn't talk to girls, the whole nine. In fact, he had a pretty apparent stutter, which just made it even less likely that he was going to strike up a conversation with someone he didn't know. One year for Christmas, or maybe even his birthday, I can't really remember exactly now, his dad bought him a Telecaster, but like just the Telecaster, didn't get an amp or anything like that. But that didn't stop him from playing that guitar until his fingers literally bled. From that point forward, all he spoke about was guitar. What songs he was learning, exercises he was doing, stuff he was playing through, that sort of thing. These days, I'm told he owns a small sound company and he does a lot of audio for live music or presenters, that sort of thing. I think if you could ask him back then, he would tell you that more than anything, he just wants to fit in. But due to him not fitting in and all the time he spent in his room playing guitar instead of out with friends or whatever, he's gotten to a level that when most people hear him play, all they can do is gawk at his skill because he is a very proficient guitar player. If you really care about something, chances are you're going to spend a lot of time doing it. And anything you spend a lot of time doing, you are going to get better and better and better at until you are very good at it. It is inevitable. Chances are you admire some really amazing people. Like maybe if you're into motocross, you idolize Travis Pastrana. Or maybe if you're an avid reader, you think Stephen King is the greatest to ever put words on a page. Both of these absolute legends in their respective fields were most likely just weird kids with unconventional hobbies at one phase or another. Sorry, it's getting a bit chilly now. Most of the time, it's not really what you're good at or what you're into that makes it hard to fit in. Sometimes you're just in the wrong place with the wrong people who care about the wrong things. It's been about 10 years since I've seen the inside of a high school classroom. And when I finally got out of the individuality meat grinder, I really got to see how different life is from school. High school is small, rigid. Not that your average office or workspace is any different. It's restrictive by design. As I mentioned already, high school doesn't value individuality. It's designed to make you a member of society. It's very difficult to control 30 kids in a classroom or 80 employees in an office when you just let everyone do whatever they want. Society just works better when everyone fits in the same box. Whether you're still in school or in that after-school early 20s phase, I realize that none of this immediately helps. None of the information in this video is going to make you popular or anything like that. You're still gonna feel pretty alone. And that sucks. But you don't need everyone to like you. You just need your people to like you. And those people just probably don't exist around you yet. One of the more freeing aspects of life is that you get to choose your community. When I left school, I did my best to surround myself with as many people as I could that understood me. I still didn't fit in 100% of the time with all the people around me, and if I did, that would have just meant that I'm a carbon copy of everyone else. And if I were that, then I would have had no individuality to speak of, and the meat grinder would have done its job perfectly. I get it. Not fitting in is hard. But if you don't fit in, then that probably just means you weren't meant to thrive in that environment anyway. Don't try and force a square peg in a round hole. All of these little things that make you weird right now eventually just make you who you are. You don't become interesting despite your interests, but rather because of them. The things that make you weird right now are the same things that are going to make you stand out later. It's frighteningly easy to not fit in when you're somewhere you don't belong. I used to feel like I was the weirdest kid I know. And then one day I met another weird kid. And trust me when I say, this chick might be the weirdest person I have ever met. All of the things that made it difficult for her to make friends or fit in when she was younger are the things that I have admired about her since the day we met. One day, the things that people call you weird for are going to be the same things that they admire you for. So just hang in there. You're going to be okay, weird kid.